Hi people, welcome to Kat's Intuition and welcome to one of my most favorite videos to do, which is talking about Halloween decks. Now, I just want to say really quick before I get started that I am going to have another list that is still for the spooky season, what I'm going to call the darker months. I will have a deck list specifically for that isn't so Halloween specific. But this list here, or these decks that I want to talk about that I love so much, are either completely Halloween specific or so much Halloweeny that I didn't put it in the other list. Okay, so let's start with this little cute one right here. It is the Diary of Skeleton. Oh my gosh, I love this one so much. My mother gifted this one to me, and it was immediately one of my favorites. It does come with a little tiny guidebook. The colors on this are so vibrant. I absolutely love it. It's so vivid. It's so cutesy, right? With the little skulls. Now, this one isn't Halloween specific per se, as there's not, pumpkins or bats, but I included this cutie in the list because obviously of the skeletons and the colors, and it gives us that darker vibe. And I love how there's little skull art or little images, symbols all throughout, even though they themselves are skeletons. I like that it's included, like they're on all of the wands, and her wand she's holding. It's just so good. This is such a fun reader. It isn't one of those really confrontational decks. So if you did want a more lighter yet Halloween themed deck, especially to do readings with people who do not really want more confronting images, right? Or you don't know what they like, if you are reading for others, I think that this would be a great one. It's fun, it's cute, but it is still going to give you a straightforward, serious reading. One of my absolute favorites. Even the devil it's a cute card. So, definitely one of my favorite little decks, the Diary of Skeleton. Up next, we have another cute one, in my opinion. This is it's even in the title, the Cute Ghost Tarot. This one was also gifted to me by my mother. This one looks as though someone took colored pencils straight to the card. It is very light imagery, nothing foreboding, nothing too confrontational or confronting was the word I was trying to think of. See, even here on the tower, it's love the little hermit. It's again another great one for wanting to pull in those Halloween vibes without getting too dark, too serious, too gruesome even on some Halloween decks. So perfect. So perfect for a light-hearted reading, yet wanting to pull in that Halloweeny vibe. It's so precious. I really love this one. So happy to have this in my tarot library. That was the Cute Ghost Tarot. Up next, not so much a cutesy deck, it is the Diablo Tarot. Now, this one is not Halloween specific at all, but the reason I included it on this, look at these backs, so pretty, on this Halloween list instead of decks just for the darker months list or collection, whatever you want to call it, right, is because this one is so very dark. Like, it's got those dark, black backgrounds with that impactful red color and the white. It stays true to the color palette, and the images are now these images would be very confronting, right? And you wouldn't, you can do what you want, right? But you wouldn't normally just pull this type of deck out for reading for others if you didn't know what their likes were. You wouldn't know if they really just disliked this type of imagery, because many people do not. Even though I like all of, give me all the gore, give me, well, not gore, I'm sorry, give me all the gothic, give me all the dark aesthetic, give me all the weird, the funky. I love all that. And red and black is, oof, it is one of my most favorite color combos. So even if you don't get specific Halloween imagery like pumpkins and ghosts and things, you still get skulls, you still get dark, you still get that haunting feeling, right? That really ties in that theme, that ambiance of a good Halloween reading. So that was the Diablo Tarot. Up next, let's do a fun one. It is the Zombie Tarot. This box is just so cute. I feel like, well, not cute, but you get me right. It's so cool. It's so different. It's so unique. I feel like the creators really went all in with this deck, and it just looks like something that they came together and had fun creating. This, of course, has to be included in the Halloween deck collection because obviously zombies, we have all these crazy images going on, and I think it would be perfect for any Halloween time reading. And while this one is full of zombies and things like that, I don't feel that it's so confronting image wise. Let me know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on this Zombie Tarot? Like I said, I don't feel that it's, I don't know why that one's backward. That's weird. I mean, they're losing skin, missing eyeballs, body parts, things like that. But I don't know. Maybe because that's what you expect out of zombies or a zombie themed anything, right? Artwork. I don't find it so confrontational. I feel like this could actually be taken very lighthearted, even though we have, as I said, dismembered bodies and things like that lying around. So let me know your thoughts on that. And that was the Zombie Tarot. Next up, we have the Haunted House, or Tarot of Haunted House. The title throws me off. It's not even Tarot of a Haunted House or the Haunted House. It's just Tarot of Haunted House. Little odd. I really like the backs. This is I haven't even been telling you where the decks are from or any of that. This is a Los Scarabeo deck. The cardstock is very lacking in anything of substance. It just feels so thin, but this is in this list. Obviously, the title is called The Haunted House. And also, you have images like this with a skeleton. This that looks like perhaps she could be a vampire or some kind of winged creature, right? You have all this drama going on that you would find in like a horror movie, right? In a creepy horror movie. You have these weird creatures here. Voodoo dolls lying around. Again, another winged creature. Evil maids. More vampire-looking figures. So, again, you're not getting Halloween per se in like pumpkins and that kind of imagery, but you are getting this nice, foreboding, creepy, eerie type feeling. I think this is the happiest, lightest card in the deck. There's nothing really eerie about it at all, right? But it's really, really good in my opinion. So this one would also be great to pull in that Halloween time ambiance for any Halloween timed reading. That is the Haunted House Tarot. Now, I thought Abigail Larson also illustrated this one, but no, I thought it was. This is by Sasha Graham, but I thought that it was the same illustrator as the Horror Tarot. This is an Insight Editions published deck. Yeah, Abigail Larson. Okay, so the Horror Tarot. I really like this one. I know there's a lot of people out there who don't care for this, but I do. I like the box. I like all the details. I like the spot gloss on the front. Here are the backs. Of course, I immediately love the red and black aesthetic. Love the over-the-top borders that they have going on here. It just adds to that, to the theme, to the feel of the deck. I like that the titles are also spot gloss. So they're not boom in your face, but they're there if you need them, right? This is perfect also to really pull in that feel for Halloween. You have skeletons, you have what looks to be a zombie, a little haunted house here, some evil dolls, and creatures lurking in the night. So I love it. You have that bloody feel going throughout. I am just very happy with this deck. Let me know your feelings on the the horror tarot on this one here, because I know a lot of people have a lot of strong feelings. I feel like they say that the pips seemed lacking or rushed, but it flows for me. It really does. They stay on theme, I feel. I don't know, I really like it. Like here, the Eight of Swords, I think that's great. The Ace of Cups, hauntingly beautiful, right? Okay, so I had a few technical difficulties. I don't remember where I left off. I just know that I was saying that I really like this deck. I know that some do not, but I think it does really good in staying in theme. I love the color palette. I love the art style. Love the borders. I just think it's good. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Do you love it? And I also like the dark red that they chose. It's not a bright, obnoxious red. It's a nice, deep, dark red. So, yes, I think this would be great for the Halloween season. And that was the Horror Tarot. Next, maybe an unusual choice. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. It is not an oracle or a tarot. It is a Lenormand. So I thought the box was really cool how they did that to show through the eyes. I don't read this as a Lenormand. I just use it intuitively as like a clarifying deck or an accompanying deck to a tarot or even another oracle deck, however you want to use it. The reason I put this one on the Halloween list or collection is because we see images like we have the skeleton hand here. I really like the colors. I think it would go well with a lot of Halloween themed decks color-wise. Very muted, deeper colors. See, we have the skeleton figures here. I just think it fits really nicely and will pair up with a lot of different decks. Now, I know that this won't appeal to everyone because maybe you don't want to read a Lenormand as an oracle like I do, but I just thought I would throw it in here in this collection or list as an option. So, yes, that was La Santa Muerte Lenormand. Up next, the Deviant Moon. I feel like this is a very obvious choice for this time of year, for this type of season, for this type of theme that you want to bring in. That spooky, creepy, funky feel, right? The colors, deep, dark, muted. These creatures are so strange, so odd, so unique. I love about this one that it is the borderless edition. I specifically wanted the borderless edition on this one. Usually borders don't bother me, but I really liked the look of this one without. But yes, I mean, come on, right? From colors to design to aesthetics to the feel, the vibe that this gives, it is most definitely a funky, crazy, quirky, weird, odd, creepy style of artwork type of a deck, which is, I mean, in my opinion, absolutely perfect for the Halloween season. If you're giving readings to others, not just yourself, and you really want to make a showing, this is definitely going to turn some heads. This is definitely going to get some attention. And that was the Deviant Moon Tarot. All right, so another one that I think is really great for both a Halloween deck list and also just dark, moody vibes is the Darkwood Tarot. I absolutely love this deck. It has a very special place in my heart. I don't know if you've watched earlier videos, but I mentioned that I only read with one tarot deck for years. I mean, years, since I was 14 and got my first tarot deck. My mother gifted me my very first tarot deck, and that was Tarot of the Cat People, which I absolutely adore. That is my number one deck, right? This was actually the second deck, or the first deck that I actually read with years later. I did have the, I mean, I still have it, but back in the day, I got the Fantastical Tarot and the Sweet Twilight Tarot, and and a Dragon Tarot that I don't ever see. I don't ever see any of those decks, but I didn't read with them. I just admired their artwork, but I was very loyal to that one tarot deck for years. And once I just decided to branch out and start reading with other decks, this is actually the first deck that I started reading with. It's crazy to say that. I mean, it's been, gosh, so very long. So yeah, this, I love it. I love the dark vibes to this. I love the artwork. It's the perfect mood. It's just so good. I really love it. And like I said, it has a very special place in my heart. But I do think that this is great for the Halloween vibe to pull in for readings, and also just the dark season. That is the Darkwood Tarot. All right, up next we have the Macabre Tarot. Now, this deck is very unique. Definitely goes to the beat of its own drum, is what I usually say about this deck. The box is so cool. I actually have it set out as a Halloween decoration on one of my tables in my living room, because I mean, wow, at this box. And it makes a sound whenever you open it, so just be aware. Isn't that cool? I love it. Such a fun little touch. It would be cool if they made it to where it didn't repeat and it just did it one time, but yes. So a very minimalistic deck, this one. I like that some backgrounds are white, some backgrounds are black. I like that. So very different. And yes, as you see, we have a very minimalistic art style, nothing going on in the backgrounds. It has been renamed. Very pip, as you can see in the minors. This one to me feels like it just doesn't go. It feels like a different style of artwork. This one and this one, I guess, kind of go. They have a chalky type vibe. But yeah, that is one thing that I will say about this deck, is it doesn't feel completely cohesive. It actually looks like they tried a different art style on some of the cards, or maybe a different person drew a few cards here and there. But it's good. It's creepy. I love that chariot. So if you are looking for very minimalistic style, I think it's bold in the way that it is just a strict black and white deck, and actually black and white, not cream or, you know. So if you like funky, minimalistic, but you still want to bring in that, you know, that odd air to it, right? This would be a great one to pull in for this time of year. See, like this one doesn't really fit this kind of artwork. I don't know, it doesn't flow seamlessly in my opinion, but I still really like it. So funky, and like I said, perfect for this time of year. And that is the Macabre Tarot. All right, next let's talk Earth and Bone Oracle. I love Syrian Shadow. He is the creator of this deck. It is so nicely done. Comes with a nice little booklet. I haven't read all the way through it, but it does give you information on the cards. I really like the color. The blue is such a pretty shade of blue. These backs are really pretty in my opinion. Nice gilding. And as you see, it really pulls in that dark aesthetic completely. And while it isn't Halloween specific in the way of like ghosts and pumpkins and things like that, right? it still is giving you lots of skeletons and that darker feel. That is why I chose to put this one in my Halloween list here instead of saving it for the more darker months collection video, because yeah, see, this would go perfect, I feel, with so many Halloween specific decks or themed decks. Look at this one here with Fate. So pretty. I love his production. Syrian Shadow, everything just feels so well done. None of the cards feel lacking. It really does show like you put a lot of time into everything, and I can definitely appreciate that. So yes, as you see, we still get a lot of color. We have peaches and oranges and pinks and reds and blues and greens, but it's done in such a nice, deep way that just goes perfect with the whole Halloween vibe and would go great with any dark deck, I think. So yes, that was Earth and Bone Oracle. Okay, so as you see, this has been in no particular order. I am just grabbing. This is the Bohemian Gothic, the latest edition. I'm not sure what edition this is. What would that be? The 5th edition? Are there that many? Oh, I don't know. I should have looked at that. So yes, I'm sure you guys have all seen it, but just in case not, this deck has foiling over the cards to give it a very different and unique look to it. This deck I chose to put for our Halloweeny list here is because it really feels like gothic, dark, moody, all of that, right? And we have werewolves and we have some vampires, lots of skulls going on and skeletons. Sorry, this deck, I will say, is hard to capture on camera. If I hold it like that, you can see how nice and vibrant the colors can be, but it can get washed out in the light due to the foiling. So something to keep in mind. I'm not sure if this is completely out of print yet or not. I know that they still had a few available, so I can't speak on that. Again, I guess I should have checked these things, but I wasn't thinking about that. I was just so excited to break out all of my dark and Halloweeny decks. See the skeleton? Now this deck I do feel is comical. I know it has this serious feel to it. It's so very detailed, but I mean, look at Death. I mean, you know, look at that. To me, it just definitely has this comical feel to it. The use of light is really, really nice in this deck as well. It really looks like, I mean, the sun is just shining through. They did such a great job. I like this card, the Wheel of Fortune. So yes, I definitely feel, I'm all fumbly right now. I definitely feel that this is a great one to pull in for the Halloweeny vibe, for the dark month vibe, all of that. See here with Frankenstein's monster. Yes, it's really good. completely pulls in the dark vibe, and that was the Bohemian Gothic Tarot. All right, let's pull in a fun one. It would not be a completed Halloween deck list without The Nightmare Before Christmas. Love this. And yes, I bring this out during Christmas readings as well. This is an Insight Editions deck. I'm sure you already know Bohemian Gothic is a Baba Studios deck. I still have not been good about saying what each deck is. I am sorry, or where they're produced. The pips, as you see, it is a pip deck if you don't own it or if you haven't seen this all over the place yet already. And the pips could be better, but love the feel of this deck. We love this cartoon here in this household, and yeah, it would just not feel right to not have this. I love Zero here as the star, and I love how true to character and art they stayed with this. I really do like that, because it just, I don't know, I don't think I would have liked it if they had changed the art style too much. I love these type of borders that they did. Yes, so a must-have for your Halloween deck collection, right? That is the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot. Okay, next, one of my absolute favorites. This is the Silver Acorn Tarot. Oh my goodness. I love it. Just everything about this deck is fantastic. From the box with the spot gilding. Look at this. The way it is designed, it is so very detailed. This is just top tier production, in my opinion. I absolutely love everything about this. Comes with a nice guidebook. The backs are pretty. I just love the whole, everything about this. It's on linen cardstock. This art style is just so beautiful. And I will say that because of the vegetable characters in here, it reminds me of Over the Garden Wall. If you have seen that cartoon, then I think you'll see why it makes me think of that. And look at these skeletons. It's so good. And I actually have the bag. Let me show you. Look at this bag with the little skull face. Oh, it's so good. It's velvet. Oh, I love it so much. This, again, I just cannot say enough good things about this deck. And for instance, there's just, I don't want to take too much time on each deck, as I've tried really hard not to, but there's little tiny symbols in each card, like the zodiac signs or the planetary signs, and it's just, I can't get over it. Like, I can't even imagine the time it took to draw each individual card. Look at these colors. It's, I love everything about this deck. I like how it's a bit oversized. It is bigger than your typical standard tarot deck. Look how pretty. Nothing looks pasted or like copy and pasted, right? There's different designs on these cups. His scarf is detailed. Each cup up here has a different detail in it. The fireplace is all intricately, oh my gosh, intricately. I have never had an issue with that word before. It's so well done, so well done. Look at each handle of these swords. It's all different. It's like, this is why I said it's not like a copy and paste type thing. So much time was taken here, and each one has the different symbols. Oh, I just love it. See, carved in his staff, we have the zodiac signs. Little acorn right here, the signs on the crown up above. It is just amazing. See the zodiac signs? It's like little hidden treasures that you find, right? It's so good. In my opinion, I am in love with this deck. I was, as soon as I saw it. This was definitely a love at first sight for me. Most definitely. Look at these bats. These are the prettiest drawn bats I have ever seen. And the cutest skeletons. Look at all the different cups. Oh, yes. So I'm probably spending way too much time on this deck, but I just love it that much. I think it is so special. I feel so lucky to have this in my tarot library. It will forever be a cherished deck. And this is the Silver Acorn Tarot. All right, another favorite and another Syrian Shadow Oracle deck is the Haunted Manor. Everything about this is exquisite. Look at this box. I just love when creators put time and thought into their work and make it feel like something substantial. This book has full page. I mean, it is a little book, but you still get the full page of the card illustrated there. It's so pretty. These backs, they are glossy. The edges, oh my gosh, it's everything about this deck. Okay, so I specifically put this one in the Halloween collection because we have a lot of things that just say Halloween. It's too perfect not to. So we have cobwebs here, even a pretty picture like this with the gifts or the presents. It still has that completely gothic, hauntingly beautiful feel to it here with the moths. Oh, it's just so beautiful. This is another deck that is very, very detailed. Look at the bats in the background over our bridge here. A crystal ball. Love that. It makes me think of the haunted mansion when all the pictures talk. This looks like coming up to Dracula's castle to me. Look how beautiful this garden is. Oh my gosh, I just want to be there. Also, the borders are foiled. I think I said gloss on the back. I meant foiled. See, we have a skull figure here. So while there aren't pumpkins, there's still a lot of Halloween-y stuff here. Black cat, absolutely love that. We have a skeleton here playing the piano. A ghost-like figure coming down the staircase. This one is definitely going to go perfect for this time of year. Look at that graveyard. So yes, this one is absolutely perfect. I love everything about it. It just looks like this old, abandoned, huge castle from long ago that ghosts still inhabit, right? And oh, it's so good. So good. And that is the Haunted Manor Oracle. Okay, up next we have Universal Monsters Tarot Deck. This one was also gifted to me by my mother, which she's gifted me almost all of these. So the box, nice and detailed. Love all the details on this. Backs are a bit crazy. I'm not sure why the airplane. Why is there an airplane? Maybe I need to read the book or something. Or maybe I'm like missing something very obvious. Why? See, it's here too. Why? Oh, I don't know. Now I feel dumb. Okay, so another Insight Editions deck. So this is going to be another Pip deck, as you see here, and they are renamed. Look at that castle, though. So, as I said, they are renamed. We have crypts, we have castles, we have claws. So crypts, castles, claws. What is the other one? I can't remember, and we haven't. Oh, candles. So yeah, and this one is just a fun one. It would totally pull in, obviously, that Halloween vibe, right? Spooky, creepy monsters and things like that, without being confronting and actually scary and gory and things like that. So yes, definitely another good one in my opinion, especially for this time of year. And that was the Universal Monsters Tarot. Up next, I have chosen the Sugar Skull Tarot. The inside is pink. How cute is that? Like, I'm not big on pink, but I'm like, oh, well, okay, let's do pink then. I remember first opening that, and I was just not expecting pink. So, nice guidebook in the way that they give you full page illustrations of the cards. Now, these are larger cards, and they are very, very square. I know a lot of people have trimmed off the borders and or rounded them, but I like my decks to be unique. Each one is their own thing, personality, style, so it just adds to the specialness for each deck, or to each deck for me. All right, so again, this one isn't going to offer ghosts and pumpkins and things like that, but totally skulls. Obviously, it's called the Sugar Skull Tarot, and it's got obviously all the black and the oranges and the purples. So I just think that this would obviously go great and be perfect to pull in the Halloween vibe without being Halloween specific, you know, when doing readings. And yeah, I think this does perfect at setting that mood, don't you think? It's just a fun one. Also another one that is not confronting, like say the Diablo Tarot that I showed earlier, right? Now that one is definitely confronting. See the pink? The pink always throws me off. It's just not a color that I choose when I do things, but it works. I love all the colors in this deck. There is another one that I suggest you use at this time of year, the Sugar Skull Tarot. Up next, a fun Insight Edition deck. Ooh, that box is snug. The Hocus Pocus Tarot. I like that they have the black flame candle inside the box. Very cute, very cute. And of course, this one had to be mentioned for Halloween time. There are the backs, sparklies. Being that all this goes down on All Hallows Eve. I like that the Hierophant is the book. The Chariot, and she is on the vacuum cleaner. It's fun. It's for a light, carefree tarot deck that I think a lot of people, you know, if you were doing it for a group of people or friends or family or, you know, whatever, just to lighten the mood and make it fun. And it's a movie that almost everyone has seen, right? I love that. Dead man's toe, a dead man's toe. I think it's so funny. She's singing it and they're trying to figure out what the ingredient is, and she knows it, but they totally just ignore her. So these have been renamed. We have candles, pumpkins, so cute. I really like the pumpkin suit in here. We have lightning. I remember when I first went through it, I did wish that they had chosen something other than lightning. You know, when she zaps it from her hands, that's why the lightning, but I just feel like they could have chosen something else. What was the other one? Pumpkins, lightning, potions. Duh. Okay, so another good and fun, light-hearted one, the Hocus Pocus Tarot. Okay, now for a little oracle deck. This one also has a special place in my heart because this is the first oracle deck that I read with, and this is the Mystic Misfits Oracle. I really, really love this tiny little deck. It is so simple in my opinion, but it reads so well. At least for me, it does. I know we're all different. These are just my opinions, right? I really like her art style. This artist, oh my gosh, I forgot her name. I knew her name. Oh, I don't know. You can find her on Etsy. White Stag, I think is what it is. Anyways, I love the true black and white color palette. What I mean by true is like it's not off-white or cream or gray. It's true black and white deck. This is my favorite card. I absolutely love Medusa. I actually have her on my cup right here. This was a birthday gift, a cup from my son and my daughter, and she found that Medusa cup. I don't know why I'm talking in syllables. It's like I can't find my words. Nothing is flowing right now. I haven't eaten all day. Maybe that's why. And she put that sticker on there for me, and I just think they're so sweet and so thoughtful. I love purple. So, yeah. Love this star. Now, the newer edition has many changes to a lot of different cards. I don't like the moon card. For some reason, I have just never liked this moon card. I wish I could get an alternate card for that, but the rest of them, I like better this edition, so I'm very happy that I have this version. I've just seen, like, the star, for instance. I really like the star card, and like a lot. It's so good. And just looking online on her shop, it is one of the ones that was changed, and I was like, oh, so glad I have this one. I like this one. I love that one too. The rose, it's so good. This is just another, I feel like a light-hearted, visually a light-hearted deck, but it is very deep, very straightforward, and only a few cards. I do wish that there were more cards to this deck because there really is not many at all. I think there's only, if I could remember, like 32 cards. It's very, 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 very thin deck, but I love it so much, and yes, I will always hold a special place in my heart, and that is my Misfits Oracle. Okay, next up, I thought a little too hard about this one, and I was like, oh my gosh, just put it. It is the Alice in Wonderland Oracle. Now, again, not all crazy Halloween-y. Why are some of these in here like this? Not all crazy Halloweeny. Obviously, it's not a Halloween deck. It's literally Alice in Wonderland. But, oh my gosh, let me collect myself. Pink again, like some hot pink with light pink and red. So pretty. The backs scream Valentine's Day to me. I love Valentine's Day. Love it. It's a day to celebrate love. Like what? Yes. Okay. Focus. Need to focus. So this I put in the Halloween list instead of putting in the darker months list because even though it isn't Halloween specific, it just feels that way to me. Her art style, and not just the art style, but all of the little details that are put in. Like even our Cheshire Cat right here. He is very, oh, how interesting. They're all three in a line with him. He just feels like a little Halloween character, doesn't he? The colors are really nice and deep and dark, and it just says Halloween to me. I think there is one in here that has pumpkins, actually. But yeah, look at her with all her sweets. I just really think that this would go really well with Halloween decks, both in color and in moodiness, right? They're funky. Like, look at that fish. I don't know if, was he eating another fish? Does he have some weird, I don't know what's in his mouth. But yeah, craziness. So you see, don't you think we have the purples and the oranges and the blues and the blacks, and it's just, it's just so good. I really like this one. Like, look at this one. This one screams Halloween vibes to me. So yes, so that is why this one made it to this list. I think it'll go with a lot of Halloween decks. So that is the Alice. It's not Alice in Wonderland. I always say the Alice in Wonderland Oracle. It's actually, is it the Alice the Wonderland Oracle? Anyways, you got it. This one. Okay, now sticking to Oracle decks. This one was actually a freebie. I have a video going over where I open up the Oracle that I actually bought, and it was from, I don't know. It was a shop that said they were going out of business on Etsy, but I could have sworn I just saw them pop up the other day when I was scrolling. I need to check on that. And that's why I'm showing this, because it may actually still be available, but I cannot remember, like at all, not even close to the name of the Etsy shop. I have no idea. Like, it's not even one of those things to where, well, if you said it, I could remember it. No, I have no idea. But this, I'm interested if any of you have it. I haven't seen it around, but it is great for Halloween. It's got a little camera with bats coming out of it in the back, and it's got things like poison and secrets and power, opportunity with like a weird claw monster hand thing, Halloween candy, a little jack-o'-lantern right there. So you see transformation. We have a little wolf down there, fate with tarot cards. So screams, it's definitely a Halloween photographic deck. I have not used this one yet. Everything else I have shown, I have used a lot, and I love them. I would not show any of these if I didn't like them. This is the only one that I just have not used. But yes, I wanted to show that one. I think this would be a fun one. I would be, or I am, I'm not, I would be. I'm interested if any of you out there have it. And the thing is that I don't even know the name of this oracle. It didn't come with, it came with a little baggie, but it didn't come with even a pamphlet or even a piece of paper with the name on it. So I really don't know. If I can find information on it, I will definitely put it in the description box if this is your sort of thing, realistic photography type deck. So yes, this is the I don't know what Halloween oracle I wanted to share with you. Okay, and another oracle. This is the Earthly Souls and Spirits Moon Oracle. I feel like that is such a long title. This was also gifted to me by my mother, but again, so many I haven't been naming them out. The backs, so simple, but I love them with the moon phases. Now this one is also a very, very perfect deck for fall and just coming into those darker months. But I included it here because we have the witches, and in many of them we have pumpkins, and we have the crows and the owls, and so for me it just really feels Halloween. And this one, I love it. They look like little ghosty cats. So see, we even have ghosts. We have a mermaid witch. See, she has a pumpkin and her broom. It actually looks like that one has, it's either candy or an opening for a light. So I don't know. So yeah, this one, just look at that. This one feels Halloween to me. And I think that I really like this card. I think that this one would also pair very nicely with multiple Halloween decks or other oracles. I mean, Halloween tarot or other Halloween oracles, blah, blah, blah. Due to the colors, all the Halloween colors that it pulls through, and it's very deep and dark itself in colorway, right? So that is why I really like this one for the Halloween list. Look at these cats sitting on pumpkins. Oh, I love it. And all the little dangly light up moons and stars. It's so good. It's so good. And of course, I love black cats, so I like how they are all throughout here. That one's a pretty one. So yes, this one actually feels Christmas to me. Obviously, because of the tree that looks like it has Christmas lights on it, right? But yeah, so I love it so much. It feels like a dainty art style. These cards just feel dainty to me. So I really like it. See her pumpkin, how pretty it has little cutouts or carvings of moons and stars. So yes, definitely a great one here to pull into your Halloweeny season readings. That is the Earthly Souls and Spirits Moon Oracle. Okay, and I'm sure everyone has seen these. This is the Seasons of the Witch, the Samhain edition or Oracle, gilded in red. Have those really pretty red backs. Now, this is the only Seasons of the Witch Oracle that I have. The other ones just didn't really call to me. So yes, I am just good with this one. This is not going to be a very chatty oracle. I don't feel, at least for me, okay, at least for me, this one just feels like very specific, which is not a bad thing, okay? I just, I don't know how to explain it. It just doesn't feel very open. That's maybe a strange way to explain that, but that's how I feel. This card is always so weird to me. It looks to me like at first kind of glance that she's coming out of the wolf, right? Like he's got his head up and almost like throwing her up. Gross, I know, until you see, because it's so dark. You have to actually really look, and you're like, oh no, she's sitting behind the wolf. Not coming out of the wolf. So yes, perfect, I would say, as like an accompanying deck for maybe a 1 or 2 card clarification pool, right, from this deck for a bigger overall tarot reading. In my opinion, that's at least the best way I have used. I have gotten use out of this deck. I am so sorry for my words and bleh. I don't personally work with this one as a standalone with multiple cards. Maybe if you wanted to do perhaps a 2-card draw with this one, a 1 card even, then yeah, but I think it works best as an accompanying, clarifying, or like that extra tidbit of advice or message to give to an overall reading. So yes, that is Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle. Okay, still have a few more. I hope I haven't been taking too long. Obviously, this one had to be on the list. This is the Halloween Oracle. I actually like these big boxes. I don't mind that they float around in there because they just sit on my shelf, so I don't have to worry about them getting damaged. And I just like how it's not tight. You can just stick your hand in there and grab them. I don't know. I just like that. Okay. the backs. Love all the little Halloween specific icons and imagery. So again, this one is obviously perfect. It's even in the name. The colors, it's going to give you that nice dark and deep aesthetic, that moody vibe to pull in for a nice Halloween themed reading. And also with this one, you're going to get that Halloween specific imagery, right? With the ghosty type feelings and the jack-o'-lanterns and the nighttime and the crystal balls with the candles. And so, yeah, this one, it would also be great, you know, not specific just to Halloween, but also winter and moving into those darker months, I feel. So you can get a lot of use out of it. It doesn't have to be just specific Halloween, right? You do what you want. So we got witches and vampires and skulls and pumpkins and werewolves and jack-o'-lanterns in the background. A poison apple, perhaps. I see our skeletons there. The zombie coming out of his tomb. Spiders. I love spiders. Black cats. Dressing up for Halloween. A mummy. A cauldron. So yes, as you see, it's perfect for bringing in that overall Halloween vibe. And that is the Halloween Oracle. Let's talk this little one. Santa Muerte Tarot. Very cute. Very tiny. This is perfect. Look at those backs. Very cute. So this is a Los Scarabeo produced deck. Now, this one, it is so tiny, but that's great when you want to pull in cards from another tarot deck to go with a tarot reading and not an oracle cards. So imagine you have this huge layout going on, right, with all of your tarot cards laid out. That takes up space. I love this one for just laying one card down as extra oomph, extra insight onto a card I want to dive deeper into. So that's just one way that I like to use the little cards. Now, obviously, this one is great to pull in that Halloween vibe. We have all of these skulls, all of these wonderful dark colors. The imagery is perfect. I love this Ace of Cups. I am happiest when it's a cold, rainy day, and that is what this one feels like to me, a cold, rainy day. So yes, I like that the backgrounds are detailed also. They have those skulls in the background. Lots of detail going on in these cards. I love this tower. It's perfect. Perfect, unique representation in my opinion. So much detail. Even the water. It's so good. So good. Look at this. Oh, so it's such a good one to pull in complete Halloween vibes. And that is La Santa Muerte. It stuck to me. Tarot. Okay, now let's get very Halloween specific, shall we? This is the Jack-o'-lantern Tarot. Look at those backs. So detailed. This is another one that has a lot of detail, like crazy detail. This is another Los Scarabeo deck. Look at this. It looks like it was done with colored pencil. It has that texture to it, but all the way Halloween. We have pumpkins everywhere, skulls. They're dressed up in funky costumes. See the cloud up here? Or it's not the cloud. It is actually the water. This is temperance. So she's pouring it from it's actually cut pumpkins, right? But it looks like a croissant, doesn't it? It's a jack-o'-lantern croissant. And look at the fish. It is a fish skeleton. It's just a fish bone, whatever. It's so good. And one thing that is really funny in this one that I think will make it fun is their costumes. What are they wearing? Like this one has a beak coming out of his shirt. The top of his hat is a skull. There's a little skull face in the feather. There's a bat on her hat. She's wearing a funky, I don't know what. Like, is that a cat or a dragon? You have heads on stakes back here. Skeletons on the ground. It looks like Medusa heads as her boots. This pumpkin is being bound. It's, look at the trees back here. They're not actually trees. They're actually like people running. It's so good, this deck, because of the detail. See, we have a hand here. I have been wanting to do a deep dive with this deck and really go through all of the imagery, and I just haven't. Things have gotten a bit crazy these past 2 months for me, and so I've been kind of missing for a little bit. But look at this. I love the skeleton going over our hermit here. This looks like such a happy little pumpkin peeking around the corner. Ooh, I gotta stop it. Look at the birds back here making a face. Yeah, I gotta stop, or I'll spend too much time on this one specific deck. But this is most definitely, obviously, a great Halloween deck to pull in. Full of detail. I mean, this is a crazy detailed deck. Oh yeah, in every way. But as much as I love this one, like love it because of all the crazy detail, I do not love it more than the next one I am about to show you. Jack-o'-lantern Tarot. And that next deck would be the Halloween Tarot. Yes, I know, so specific. I mean, so obvious. I love this deck so much that I got it in the tin as well. This is the only deck that I did this with, as in getting another one. I love it that much, and I am very specific about my things. And I just couldn't throw this in a bag, and I liked that about this one, even though I wrap it in a cloth anyways, but still had to get the little version. This deck is perfection. It is definitely showing its wear. This deck I have spoke about before. At first glance, you may think it isn't one to be taken serious because it is very cartoony is the best way I can think to describe the art style, right, and the imagery. While it is so very cartoony in style, it is by no means a lesser deck than a more serious looking deck. This deck also is cram-packed with symbols and details that I absolutely love. I am in love with this deck. It's perfection to me. Also, I love the style that this cat is drawn in, and I love black cats, and there is a cat in every single card of this deck, and I love that. All of the details, like here underneath our little shelf is a little gargoyle holding it up. There's stars in the sky always. It's just so freaking good. Look at the moon here and the details that they put in. We still have our little sea creature and our werewolf, or our wolf, right? Our werewolf and our dog. It's just so good. So much detail. There is no just blank space. You see here with the stars and the vines. And look at the thought. Instead of just putting a foot, it's like a little creature foot for the chair she's sitting on. Oh, I know I need to speed it up. It's just, okay, so this is the only thing that I don't like are these little, they look like babies to me, and I don't like that. I wish they didn't look like that. But look at the cat, how funny. And that's another thing about the cat in this deck. He doesn't look like he's just copy and pasted. He has this look on his face. He's expressive. He's actually interacting with what's going on in the card. And I love that. So yes, as I said, he is in every single card. You see, like there, he's gonna like attack the little statue that he is dropping, and they are renamed. We have imps, ghosts, pumpkins. See here, did I say ghosts already? I don't even remember. Their cat is up here on this one. He's looking at him like, what is going on? And in some of them, he's even like, I call it Halloween kittied when my cat does it all the time. You know, they arch their back, and look at him looking at him. But look at the detail. This is the chariot. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. He looks like he's like, what are you guys doing down there? I want to play. Total Wednesday vibes, right? Oh, bats. Did I say? I don't even remember. I think I've named them all. This tower is, it's a haunted house. And look at how much is going on in this card. It's so good. The bored looking gargoyle here. We still have the lightning striking the tower. We have ghosts looking out the different windows. And see, this is what I mean. He's all Halloween kittied, right? He's all puffed up and spiky. And I can't with this. It's just so good. I get so excited with this deck. And see right here, he's like, rawr. It's fun. It's, yes. I know it is so Halloween specific, obviously. It's called the Halloween Tarot. And it is so cartoony, I know, but it is so deep and so good. And I absolutely love it. For me, it's just perfect. With the exception of those 3 little baby looking things in the devil card. That's the only thing that I don't like. But other than that one thing, it is perfection. Look at everything that's going on. I love all the detail. Love it. Look at him. You can tell that he's like, yeah, he's sitting there all happy with his squinty little eyes. And oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. Yes. And he looks like he's falling asleep there with the 4 of bats. Oh, yes. I love it. I love it so much. Oh, this death card. I love this death card. Look how funky. And I love that he's watering the pumpkins. And we have the little moth down here. And look at it. He's loving on the leg of death. And he looks so concerned right here. So yes, I love it. It's perfect in almost every way other than that one card. Look at the from the curtains to the bed, the blanket. Oh my gosh, words. There's a snake. I mean, everything is so detailed. So yes, this is my ultimate Halloween deck. And honestly, I don't just use it for Halloween. Look at him there. He's getting all wet from the rain. I can use this all the time. It doesn't matter when it is. Yeah. I was hoping I would see one card in here. It looks like oh wow, thank you. I went right to it. This almost looks like there's no cat in this card, but he's actually in that window right there. So yes, and it doesn't lose any of its wonderfulness in this, but I was just going to show you the size difference in case you are interested. And the colors are just as vibrant and the cardstock is just as good. So yeah, I really like it. And this does come with like a little white booklet if you wanted that. So this is the magnificent Halloween Tarot. Okay, we are almost done. So I included this one here, the Tarot of Vampires. Now this could have gone with like the dark season because this one isn't Halloween specific, again, in the ways I have been repeating myself. Hope it's not too annoying, in the ways that there are no pumpkins and ghosts and things like that. So it's not Halloween specific, but I mean, we have the vampires, we have the darkness, that whole aesthetic, and I think that vampires and this whole feel would go perfect with all of your Halloween cards that you are pulling out. Don't you think? See, look at our werewolf there. So yes, dark, moody, totally moody. Lots of detail going on in these cards. Definitely a perfect one for Halloween. And that is the Tarot of Vampires. Okay, next up we have the Everyday Witch. Now this one, again, not Halloween specific in that imagery, but obviously I think this would go perfect. I mean, the backs are very Halloween-y feeling, right? But I think that this one, just like the Tarot of the Vampires deck, goes perfect. The colors, the feel, the vibe, I mean, you know, they're witches. So I think, yes, is a good one to pull in. This is also a very light-hearted one. This would be great, again, for a very light-hearted reading that you don't want to be too imposing. And yeah, you wouldn't have to be worried about crazy cards coming out with bad imagery or anything like that. And I'm sure many of you have already seen this deck. But yeah, so this is definitely, I think, the brightest deck that I have shown in this lineup. I think it's even brighter than like the Hocus Pocus cards were and stuff. So definitely not a dark deck, even aesthetic wise bright, but still Halloweeny. This is like Halloween during the day. And that was the Everyday Witch. I feel like I am forgetting one. Oh, I am. And that would be the Wild Things Oracle. Now, this one is full of funky creatures, And it actually does have some pumpkins here and there. So that is why I chose this one for the Halloween list and not just leaving it in the list of decks for the dark months to come. You see all of the colors, very dark but very vivid, very crisp, very pretty. I love these cards. You have all of these funky creatures that are created in this world. That one is so funny to me. So also this one I feel would go absolutely perfect. We have a little vampire right here with so many of the Halloween decks that you put together as a nice little tag-along deck. She of course reminds me of Medusa. I wish she was more drawn like her. You see how pretty she is with the the glowing of the eyes? She just looks otherworldly with her eyes. She looks too realistically drawn for me. So yeah, and I wish she'd have more snakes. So I just wish they had a Medusa card, pretty much is what I'm saying in here. But this is also a very, very detailed deck. You're just going to find things the more you look at them. Look at this one. That's just crazy. It's a crazy deck. It is like a what in the world is going on type deck. This is something that I would see in my dreams. All of these crazy, funky creatures. Yes, that was the Wild Things Oracle. Okay, so I think that that is it. If I'm forgetting any, I will just include them in the Dark Months list that I am going to put together and record very shortly as well. Thank you so much for joining me. Please let me know your thoughts on these decks. I want to know it all. Thanks again. Nothing but love. Bye.